The 1988 D Mint Mark Washington $quarter coin is one of those hidden treasures that many people overlook, not realizing that a single coin sitting in their change jar could be worth a fortune today. In this video, we are diving deep into the history, design, minting process, errors, varieties, and the unbelievable current market value of the 1988 D Washington $quarter coin, which has reached an astonishing $81,233 in today's collector market. This coin, part of the long-running Washington Quarter series, has a fascinating story that connects American history, coin production technology, and the unpredictable world of rare coin collecting. The Washington Quarter series began in 1932, originally designed to commemorate the 200th birthday of George Washington, the first President of the United States. The coin replaced the standing Liberty quarter and quickly became one of the most beloved coins in American circulation. Designed by sculptor John Flanagan, the obverse of the coin features a striking portrait of George Washington facing left, with the word Liberty inscribed above his head and the motto "I in God We Trust" positioned just under his chin. Below Washington's neck, you will find the date, in this case, 1988, and just to the right of it, the mint mark D, indicating that this particular coin was struck at the Denver Mint. The reverse design, also created by Flanagan, displays a powerful American bald eagle with its wings outstretched, perched on a bundle of arrows and flanked by two olive branches, powerful symbols of both strength and peace. Above the eagle, the words United States of America are engraved, followed by the national motto E pluribus unum, meaning, out of many one. Beneath the eagle, the denomination $quarter is clearly shown. Now, when it comes to the 1988 D Washington quarter, most people assume that since it's relatively modern, it must not be worth more than face value. But that's where the story takes an exciting turn. The Denver Mint produced more than 596 million quarters in 1988, so it's true that many of them are common. However, within that massive production, a small number of coins were struck with unique errors, varieties, or in exceptional conditions that make them extremely rare today. These rare examples are what command prices in the tens of thousands of dollars. To understand why, let's talk about what collectors look for. First, the condition or grade of the coin plays a major role. Coins that have been preserved in mint state condition, meaning they show no wear and retain their original luster, are far more desirable than circulated ones. A 1988 D Washington quarter graded MS67 or higher by professional grading services like PCGS or NGC can easily fetch thousands of dollars at auction. But that's just the beginning. Some 1988 D quarters display striking minting errors that make them one of a kind. One such example is the double die obverse, where parts of Washington's face, lettering, or date appear doubled under magnification. Another notable variety includes off-center strikes, where the design is noticeably misaligned, or coins struck on the wrong planchet, such as on a dime or nickel planchet. These errors are extremely rare and make each coin a unique collectible. Another interesting factor is the quality of the strike. The Denver Mint was known for strong, clear strikes in the 1980s, but even then, some coins were produced with weakly defined details on Washington's hair or the eagle's feathers. Coins with exceptionally sharp details are known as full strike coins and are highly valued by collectors who appreciate their beauty and rarity. Let's move to the composition of the coin. The 1988 D Washington quarter is made of a copper-nickel clad composition, consisting of an outer layer of 75% copper and 25% nickel bonded to a core that's pure copper. It weighs 5.67 grams and has a diameter of 24.3 millimeters. While it's not made of silver, certain minting errors and pristine examples have driven their value to incredible heights. Now let's talk about some real-life examples. A 1988 D Washington quarter in superb condition, graded MS68, sold at auction for more than $10,000. Another example with a striking off-center error sold for over $18,000. But the most extraordinary of all is a 1988 D Washington quarter with multiple striking errors and near-perfect surfaces, which fetched a jaw-dropping $81,233. The buyer was a private collector who recognized the coin's rarity and uniqueness, securing it as one of the most valuable modern quarters in existence. Collectors often wonder how such coins end up in circulation. In many cases, mint employees unintentionally release error coins during production, or they are found later in bank rolls, coin collections, or even pocket change. That means there's always a small chance that a coin collector or casual spender might discover one of these rare gems without even knowing it. When identifying a valuable 1988 Washington quarter, start by checking the mint mark just beside the date. Make sure it's clearly a D for Denver, and then inspect the coin under a magnifying glass. Look for signs of doubling in the date or letters, off-center designs, unusual rims, or missing elements like parts of the motto or eagle's wings. If your coin looks unique or unusual in any way, it might be worth having it professionally graded. It's important to note that grading plays a huge role in determining value. For example, a 1988 quarter in average circulated condition is typically worth only 25 cents. In uncirculated mint state condition, it might fetch between $10 and $50. But when you reach those ultra-rare examples with perfect surfaces, strong luster, and dramatic minting errors, that's when you enter the realm of five-figure and even six-figure valuations. So why are collectors willing to pay so much? It's because these coins represent both history and rarity, two powerful forces in numismatics. The 1988 Washington quarter connects back to the long-running legacy of the Washington series and stands as a symbol of American craftsmanship and design. Each coin tells a story about its journey through time, from the Denver Mint presses in 1988 to the collector's display case decades later. For coin enthusiasts, finding one of these coins is like winning the lottery. Every year, collectors across the United States search through coin rolls, bags, and old change hoping to uncover one of these rare quarters. The thrill of discovery and the possibility of turning a simple 25-cent coin into a treasure worth tens of thousands keeps people searching. Let's also not forget that the Washington quarter underwent significant design changes later on. Starting in 1999, the U.S. Mint introduced the State Quarters program, which ended the long reign of the original eagle reverse design. This makes the 1988 issue one of the last in the traditional eagle-back style before the new commemorative designs took over, adding historical importance to its appeal. Collectors today place special value on pre-1999 quarters in high grades because they represent the classic era of U.S. coinage. When combined with minting errors or pristine condition, their worth skyrockets. That's exactly what happened with the 1988 Washington quarter that sold for $81,233. It stood as a perfect example of rarity, preservation, and collector demand converging in one coin. Now, if you have any Washington quarters from the 1980s, especially those with the D Mint mark, take the time to inspect them closely. You never know what you might have. A coin that appears ordinary could be hiding a minting mistake or condition rarity that makes it extremely valuable. Always handle your coins carefully, avoid cleaning them, and store them in protective holders to preserve their condition. Whether you're a beginner or a seasoned collector, understanding the value of coins like the 1988 Washington quarter helps you appreciate the hidden treasures in everyday money. This coin reminds us that sometimes, history and value can be found in the smallest and most unexpected places, even in the change you carry in your pocket. In conclusion, the 1988 Mint Mark Washington $quarter coin is a stunning reminder of America's numismatic legacy. Its combination of rich history, artistic design, minting variations, and rare condition makes it one of the most fascinating coins ever produced by the Denver Mint. With its current market value reaching an incredible $81,233, it stands as a symbol of how extraordinary discoveries can emerge from the most ordinary objects. So the next time you come across a Washington quarter from the late 1980s, don't just spend it. Examine it carefully. Because that simple 25-cent coin could be a life-changing treasure, waiting to reveal its hidden worth to the right set of eyes. The 2019 Mint Mark Washington $quarter coin is one of those modern coins that has taken collectors and treasure hunters by surprise. At first glance, it may look like any other quarter you'd get in change, but for those who know what to look for, it's a potential goldmine. The 2019 P. Washington Quarter has an incredible story filled with history, unique designs, errors, and rare varieties that make it worth far more than its face value. Some rare examples of this coin have sold for as high as $71,524, which is mind-blowing for a coin you could easily find in your pocket change. Let's go deep into the history, design, minting details, and why collectors are willing to pay such huge amounts for the 2019 P. Mint Mark Washington Quarter. The Washington Quarter series began back in 1932, introduced to commemorate the 200th anniversary of George Washington's birth. Over the years, the design of the quarter evolved, but Washington's portrait has always remained a constant symbol of American pride and history. The 2019 P. Mint Mark Quarter was minted at the Philadelphia Mint, and it forms part of the America the Beautiful series, a program that ran from 2010 to 2021, showcasing national parks and landmarks from every U.S. state and territory. What makes 2019 so interesting is that it marked the introduction of the W. quarters from the West Point Mint. But today we're focusing on the P. Mint Mark version from Philadelphia. The 2019 P. Washington Quarter comes in multiple designs, including Lowell National Historical Park in Massachusetts, American Memorial Park in the Northern Mariana Islands, War in the Pacific National Historical Park in Guam, San Antonio Missions National Historical Park in Texas, and Frank Church River of No Return Wilderness in Idaho. Each design carries its own charm and historical significance, making 2019 one of the most fascinating years for modern quarter collectors. Now, let's talk about what makes some 2019 P quarters so valuable. While millions of these coins were minted, certain examples have rare minting errors or extremely high-quality conditions known as mint state grades that make them worth a fortune. Collectors look for coins with sharp strikes, clean surfaces, and full details, especially those graded MS67, MS68, or even higher by professional grading companies like PCGS or NGC. Coins in these conditions are extremely rare and can command prices that skyrocket into the tens of thousands of dollars. Some of the most valuable 2019 P quarters are those with striking minting errors. One of the most well-known types is the double die error, where the design elements appear slightly doubled because the die struck the coin more than once. This kind of error can be seen in the letters, numbers, or even Washington's profile. Another highly sought-after error is the off-center strike, where part of the design is missing because the coin wasn't properly aligned during the minting process. There are also die cracks, clipped planchets, and missing edge lettering varieties that collectors are obsessed with finding. For example, there have been reports of 2019 P quarters with a double die obverse where Washington's eye, lips, or the word Liberty appears slightly doubled, giving the coin a rare and distinctive look. These coins can sell for hundreds or even thousands depending on the visibility and clarity of the error. But the real treasure is when you find a pristine condition error coin. Those are the ones that can bring jaw-dropping prices at auctions. In addition to mint errors, coins in perfect, uncirculated condition are incredibly valuable because they've been preserved without scratches, wear, or damage. A 2019 P quarter graded MS68 can be valued anywhere from several hundred to several $1,000s, and in rare cases, some have fetched prices above $71,524 in private sales and auctions. The reason for this high value comes down to rarity, demand, and the competitive nature of coin collecting. There are only a handful of these perfect examples in existence, and collectors are always eager to own the best of the best. When you look at the design of the 2019 P Washington Quarter, you can truly appreciate its artistic detail. The obverse side features the classic portrait of George Washington, designed by John Flanagan, which has been used since the series began in 1932. The word Liberty is inscribed above Washington's head, and below his chin you'll find the phrase, "In God We Trust." To the right of the bust is the mint mark P, indicating that the coin was struck at the Philadelphia Mint. The reverse design changes depending on the specific park represented, and each one tells a story about America's natural and cultural heritage. Let's take the Lowell National Historical Park Quarter as an example. It shows a woman working at a power loom with a view of the Butt Mill Clock Tower in the background, representing the Industrial Revolution's impact on American history. The level of craftsmanship in the design makes these coins miniature works of art. The 2019p version of this coin, in perfect condition or with special errors, is one of the most valuable among the series. Another remarkable 2019 design is the San Antonio Mission's National Historical Park quarter, which depicts Spanish colonial imagery including a bell, wheat, a lion, and flowing water, symbols of community, farming, and faith. Collectors love these variations because they capture unique pieces of history while providing opportunities for hidden treasures. Now, let's talk about how to identify and check the value of your 2019p mint mark quarter. First, examine the mint mark, located to the right of Washington's ponytail on the obverse side. If it shows a P, that's the Philadelphia Mint. Then, look closely at both sides of the coin under good lighting or with a magnifying glass. Search for any doubling in the text, cracks, or unusual features. Check for off-center designs or edges that look clipped or misshapen. If your coin looks flawless with mirror-like luster and sharp details, you may have a high-grade mint state coin. It's always a smart idea to compare your coin to online examples or send it to a professional grading service if you believe it's rare or valuable. Even if it's not worth tens of thousands, some 2019p quarters still sell for $20, $50, or even a few $100 depending on condition and demand. But when you do find that perfect example, its market value could easily climb up to that staggering $71,524 mark. The coin market is dynamic, and the value of coins like the 2019p Washington quarter keeps increasing as more collectors join the hobby. Social media and YouTube channels dedicated to coin collecting have also sparked massive interest among new collectors, making coins like this even more desirable. When demand grows and supply stays limited, prices can rise dramatically. That's why experts always say to keep checking your pocket change. You never know when you might find a hidden gem. To put things into perspective, imagine finding a quarter worth over $70,000 just sitting in a coin jar or in your wallet. It's like winning a mini lottery for anyone who loves history, art, and treasure hunting. The 2019p mint mark Washington quarter proves that modern coins can still carry immense value, especially when they're tied to special designs, rare minting errors, and perfect condition preservation. Collectors often seek out full rolls or uncirculated sets from the U.S. Mint to increase their chances of finding a high-grade coin. Sometimes dealers and collectors go through thousands of quarters just to find one worthy of grading at the top levels. That's how rare these pristine examples are. So if you have a 2019p Washington quarter, don't overlook it. Take the time to inspect it carefully. Even a small variation could turn out to be worth a fortune. Remember, history shows that many of the world's most valuable coins started out as regular circulation pieces before their rarity was discovered. As the years pass, the 2019p quarter's value could continue to increase. Coins from the America the Beautiful series are already becoming collector favorites, and the Philadelphia minted examples with special features or top grades are becoming harder to find in circulation. If you happen to find one of these coins, especially in mint condition or with an error, it might be worth holding on to or getting professionally appraised. The lesson here is simple: always check your change, because even in today's digital age, treasures like the 2019p mint mark Washington quarter dollar still exist. What might look like an ordinary 25-cent piece could actually be worth over $71,000, and finding one could change your life overnight. So next time you get quarters in your change, take a close look at each one. That shiny 2019p Washington quarter could be the key to unlocking a hidden fortune, a true piece of American history that continues to rise in value with every passing year.